Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Monday, June 5th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduced to number 9 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to the spirit animal, we are working with the shark. When I think of the shark energy, I feel like the shark energy fits today because something about the day feels like overly ambitious. There's an ambitious vibe to the day. And it's not just because today is ruled by the moon and, Monday is moon day. And the moon is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is an ambitious energy, a responsible energy. So with the moon in Capricorn, we could find ourselves, thinking about how everything is our responsibility, or if things aren't going right, those things are our fault. But with the moon in Capricorn, a lot of focus and emphasis on our legacies, our goals, our responsibility, our financial situation. So when I think of the shark energy and Capricorn energy, I think of Shark Tank. So I think of emotions, one pretty much dismissing their emotions and focusing on the hunt, the kill, going after certain things, trying to make certain things happen. And the energies in the day though adds up and reduces to number 9 vibration. So with the number 9 energy, ruling over the day, and today being the 5th, I think about how today has a salesman vibe to it. The reason why I say salesman, because the number 5 can sell anything to anyone if it chooses. That's the number 5's strong point, to sell. And the way we sell is through storytelling, communication, and something connecting with someone on an emotional level. When you think of any major purchases you've ever made in your life, there was an emotional thing that pulled you to make that purchase. And then the number 9 energy, tied in with the 5. The number 9 is also a chameleon vibe. So it's being able to understand someone enough towards almost like you become them to understand them and give them exactly whatever it is that they need. So when it comes to say the energies in today, I think about how the 5, the day being the 5th, creates a sudden change, sudden and unexpected change, sudden and unexpected aspect to the day, or a need for constant stimulation. I think of how the month is June, so that energy is social, friendly, friendship oriented. I think about how the energies add up and reduce the number 9 vibration, where the number 9 doesn't want to rock the boat, where with the number 9 energy, so the number 9 and the number 6 could be the friend group. The number 9 wants to be a part of the friend group, even though it's outgrown the friend group, even though it thinks the friends are toxic. But at the same time, it's familiar, the group is familiar. So it's the thought of walking away from a thing that is familiar is more terrifying than, staying in this thing that just doesn't work, that hasn't been working. Or I think about how the number 9 could be, the number 9 and the number 5 together. Today is the 5th. The energies in the day adds up and reduces to number 9. I think about smooth operator, how the number 9 could be so charming, charismatic, and romantic. So when it comes to say the energies in today, normally Mondays could be exhausting and overwhelming, because Monday is a day for shadow work. Monday is a day for self-care. Monday is a day for reflection. Monday is a day for healing. Monday is a day for releasing. And most of us have to go out into the world and completely dismiss our needs. So that's why we'll find ourselves dragging on Mondays. We'll find ourselves overwhelmed on Mondays. We'll find ourselves feeling a little sad on Mondays. And that's because the inner child feels neglected. With the moon in Capricorn, a lot of us could find ourselves today feeling like we need to catch up. I think about how it's the 6th month, and the number 6 deals with material success. So with the moon in Capricorn, we feel a sense of obligation or responsibility to catch up. You know, our focus is on trying to make certain things happen. Venus enters into Leo today. So I think of Leo energy, how Leo, you know, is a courageous energy. It's a creative energy. It deals with the self. You know, so big focus on the self, but Venus moved into Leo and Venus conjuncts Mars. So we value ambition and motivation, but Venus conjunct Mars in Leo is a part of a T-square between Jupiter conjunct the North Node in Taurus and Pluto in Aquarius. So with the Venus energy conjunct Mars in Leo, where we're motivated by our inner child and creatively expressing ourselves at the same time, that feels unrealistic because it's challenged by Pluto in Aquarius, which, you know, focus on humanity, what humanity needs, the friend groups. It's like, you know, feeling guilty to put oneself first. And then Jupiter conjuncts the North Node in Taurus, you know, amplifies stability and foundations based on a traditional practical route. So when I think about the energies in the day, it's like, I think about, say, a person, like something about this day where it's like, it's easy for a person to kind of pretend like they're okay when they're not okay. Like it brings me to when I lived in LA and how I hated it, but I convinced myself that I liked it because I didn't want to be wrong about moving there. I didn't want to be wrong about the decision. So I feel like that's something about today where it's like not wanting to own some kind of truth. And for me, when I lived in LA, it wasn't until I started getting ill because of how stressful the environment was for me, because that's not where I belong. And that forced me to recognize that truth. So I feel like for some people today, it's like, and it might not even be today, but with the energies in today, it's so easy to avoid the truth about something. And how one will avoid the truth about something is with the day being the 5th, you know, keeping oneself busy, keeping oneself distracted. I think about the person who is in the relationship and they use work to distract themselves from the fact that they don't want to be in the relationship anymore, or use work to distract themselves from going home. But something about the energies in today can bring attention to how we distract ourselves from the reality of what's happening because we're afraid of change. We're afraid of change for whatever reason. But the moon is the only negative aspect that's being made to the moon is Neptune in Pisces. So that brings me to say the moon is in Capricorn. It's in a place where it's practical. You know, the inner world is practical. It wants to make sense of things by using the principles of the past, you know, practical, traditional ways of trying to accomplish things, where Neptune and Pisces wants us to go within ourselves to solve our problems, wants us to go in ourselves to understand things on a deeper level. And the inner world doesn't want that. The inner world wants to focus on things outside of itself and pretty much take action in order to like achieve success. But when it comes to say positive aspects being made to the moon, Saturn is in Pisces, is positively aspecting the moon, and also Jupiter conjunct North Node in Taurus is also positively aspecting the moon. So the moon is in a place where it feels ambitious, goal-oriented. Yeah, ambitious and goal-oriented, but what's motivating the inner world is traditional and practical ways of doing things, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's a place for that, where first we need to go inside of ourselves. We need to allow our intuition, our higher selves, and guidance to help us to find the truth as far as what's in alignment with us. And then once we figured out what path we want to take, then we apply practical, traditional matters in order to take the steps to make it happen, in the sense that we don't need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to achieving certain goals. But before we even get to that point, we need to be clear about what it is, what kind of experience we want to have in this life, meaning what kind of career path do you want to pursue? Because if you're in alignment with what it is that you're supposed to be doing, then you don't need a vacation from your work life. Your work life and your personal life is one, because even if you weren't getting paid to do what you're getting paid to do, you would be doing it anyways. And most people have been conditioned to think that's impossible, but it's not impossible. You first need to surrender, go within yourself to find that solution, and then use the practical, traditional, tangible steps to make it happen. So I'm not dismissing anything. I'm just saying there's a place for everything. And when it comes to, say, the tarot, we have the Seven of Swords in the reversal position. In the upright position, this person is sneaking off with some swords. So when I think of them sneaking off with some swords, and they're sneaking off with 5 swords. So in the upright position, to me, this is like dealing with somebody who's gaslighting you, dealing with somebody who's manipulating you. But in the reversal position, this brings me to say, like, even if you were dealing with that kind of a person, it's like you could see through it. And for me, like, learning to understand myself and, learning to strengthen my intuition and, trust my guides and things like that. When I'm dealing with people like this, it's like, it's like dealing with someone who how some people or kids might think because they're wearing sunglasses, no one can see them. It's like dealing with people like this. It's like their behavior is so obvious to where it almost feels so predictable. Like, it's like, okay, boom. The way how I understand it is like, once you understand one manipulative person, it's like you realize that all manipulative people operate within the same way. It's almost like there's a spirit, or some people will say there's like a demonic spirit that takes over people who are narcissistic. And to me, narcissistic in the sense that a person completely lacks empathy. And I believe people don't become that way overnight. I believe people experience trauma, and something traumatized them to the point where it's like a part of them died. And it's like I mentioned in another video, it's like our temperature. It's like we all have spacesuits with it, which is our bodies. And there's temperatures within our suits, meaning the things that we think about on a regular basis. And it's either it keeps us in a positive, in a neutral, a positive frequency, or a low frequency. And I think of, say, a person who's been traumatized over and over and over again, and then choose to like dwell in that lower frequency, their spacesuits, their energy field, becomes attractive towards other beings that can survive within it. And I think about, those low frequency, demonic entities that I feel, are within people who are considered narcissistic, who completely lack empathy. So it's like you might see a family member or a loved one, but don't realize like you're dealing with another entity that's, taking over their space. So when I think about those entities and, people that operate in a certain way, it's like once you recognize the traits, it's like when you're dealing with people like that, they all operate in the same way. And it's like, it's wild as hell is all I'm going to say. It's wild as hell. But with the Seven of Swords, with the energies in today, the day adding up and reducing to number 9 vibration, it's like even though people might be behaving in a way where they don't want to rock the boat or, trying to conform, it's like you could see stuff for what it is, or you could see things for what it is. You could see it for exactly what it is if you choose to. Because I used to always ask myself, why does my intuition work with some people and not others? And it's not that it doesn't work with the ones who it doesn't work with. For you, it might be your family members or your partners or whoever. It's just that you want to see who you want to see, or you want to see what you want to see in some people. So because you want to see what you want to see in some people, it feels like it doesn't work, but it does work. You just have to, see what you see and be completely detached from what you see, and just know it's not personal. It's never personal. Life is an energy game. And, you know, some of us go through certain things and we throw in the towel and we give up because we choose to, like, you know, we give up because whatever we experience feels so bigger than us, and we completely give up, give in, and choose to, like, you know, I think of the person who choose to share their house, their home with, like, you know, people that shouldn't be there. And that's what happened when we allow ourselves to dwell so low in frequency. We unknowingly share our space with certain entities. And I spoke about this in a previous video where I was talking about how after seeing Venom, the Marvel movie Venom, it explained things for me, where it's like when a person is completely unaware and lacks self-awareness, it's like they could be sharing their space with an entity that craves certain things, that causes them to, you know, deal with certain addictions or different things. But it's like a person thinks that it's them who's craving these things or keeps getting into trouble or whatever, when really they need to rid themselves of that energy. And the way you rid yourself of that energy, I think, is first releasing as far as journaling and recording and unloading, you know, everything, like, you know, leaving no stone unturned, telling the truth about how you feel, and then consciously making an effort to, you know, make auto suggestions to yourself. So replacing negative beliefs with positive affirmations that you believe in, affirmations that are true to you, and then also consume things that keep you laughing, keep your vibration positive. And I feel like through repetition and consistently doing that, a person could, you know, clean house, shake up their frequency, and release certain things that isn't in alignment. I think of, you know, it's like a person doing a cleanse and, you know, releasing toxicity. It's like doing a cleanse and releasing certain energetic parasites, you know, that cause us to behave and do certain things or attract certain people. And we're like, it's almost like a person sleepwalks and keeps waking up in a situation, and it's like, how did I get here? But you guys, such a pleasure sharing this message with you as usual. If you'd like to book a reading with me or check out my weekly exclusive content only on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. Please let me know you're still here with me by dropping me a brown heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.